Rule number 6. Once you understand the enablers and you are clear what you are doing, understand the ecosystem where you're going to live as a startup. See, the startup ecosystem has multiple things in place. If you don't understand what each of them does, you'll be running all over the place, but you will not be able to identify what is that you have to take from it or what is that you have to give to it. For example, you don't understand what is a market, then there is no point of you expecting a customer or any kind of a sale that can happen. Similarly, if you have not realized the value in our rule 3, then we will not be able to compare what is that value that we are delivering to the customers. So this is very important. Similarly, if you don't know whether our idea, like for the medical e-commerce startups, there is no investor available, then it is a risky zone, because if there is at least one investor who is putting money into these startups, then it's a good one to start and go ahead and explore the options. But there is no investor, then we are actually starting it. Then that's where we have to spend more time until the investor educates himself and comes back and to fund. So what it means is there is no investor so far, so there is going to be long time for funding. It's not like we just get our idea, we get some customers, get some revenue and start running crazily all over the place for funding. That will not work. That is why we should have awareness. Similarly, we should have awareness of an accelerator. We should actually reach out to accelerator if you find some problem. See, what accelerators does is they speed up the process of this ideation. If we are stuck or something somewhere, we are not able to understand, we need a domain expert, we need a professional support, the accelerators can really bring that help right on, spot on, and they do the best. So try to understand what accelerators are, try to see whatever, so that if it's required, you can take the use of it. Next, understand what is compliance that fits for a startup. Why a startup has to be compliant? What are the issues with the startup? If I don't comply, if I don't file my DIN, if I don't file my directory number, if I don't file my details or in the MCS site, what happens, what it takes? That's going to be a chaos later. Instead of making the problem bigger and repenting later, first try to understand for your startup. Let's say in our example, we have decided to create a e-commerce startup in medical space. Now, what are the permissions I have to take? What are the things I have to understand the government? Do I need to apply GST? Do I need to apply any license, trading license? Do I need to apply any sales license? How things work? So these are the things I need to understand for the compliance. Similarly, I should be prepared with the contracts. What are the contracts? Let's say if someone walks into me straight away and says, we understand your solution, we would like to work with you together. So what is that we are having to offer? So we have to decide what are the kind of contracts we will be able to expect and how we can get ready and how are the things we are going to take shape. And last but not the least, we have to understand what is the government scenario. What is that government is bringing? So many things. Every day we hear so many thousands of startups benefited from government schemes. Why does e-commerce of a medical startup doesn't qualify government? So I need to understand what is the scheme, what is that? So these are the basics of understanding awareness about the startup ecosystem. That is the rule number 6, which is step